Bottom from Hour, Chapter 4, Schale's Whirlpool.
Psst! A soft feminine voice hissed, disrupting the quiet evening. I had no idea where this voice was coming from, so I ignored it. Psst! It hissed, louder this time. I scanned the area. Nothing. Psst! The sound was so unbearable, it rang in my ears. What? I replied, nearly alerting the guards of my location. Then suddenly, a face was given to the voice as a petite, flowery girl arose from the sand. For a second she appeared mystical. Her long, curly locks of succulent brown hair had some seaweed wrapped stylishly up to her dark roots. It floated gracefully with the current of the ocean and caressed her pretty rosy face as it did so. Hidden among her large mass of hair was a glittery white seashell. It matched her other two seashells that she wore as a top.
"Are you trying to get over the wall?"
she asked. She had a slight accent, which I could not describe. What does it matter to you? I snapped back. I was angry. She nearly blew my cover.
"Well, I know a way to get across without the guards seeing."
She smiled back. I didn't believe her. How could a random girl know how to evade the guards? How do you know? I asked, curiously. She giggled.
"Because I live on that side."
She pointed past the wall. What? She was nothing like I had pictured the Andarians to look like. Where were her vicious fangs? Why wasn't she trying to trick me? Oh, wait. Maybe she was. Lunga warned me about the Andarian's cunning nature. Perhaps she was going to kidnap me, just like the shark had kidnapped my mum. I was sure she was up to something, so I smiled nervously back. I didn't know how dangerous she was.
"Don't just stand there."
She giggled as she played with her long locks of brown hair.
"Are you coming with me or not?"
She smiled back at me.
"It's okay if you're scared."
She smiled warmly back at me. Who did this girl think she was? I was not scared. Lockett does not get scared of a girl. I'm not, I snapped back. Why couldn't she just leave me alone?
"My name is Schale."
She held out her long tanned arm in an attempt to introduce herself to me. I stood up from a sandy floor. Schale was a little bit taller than me, but it didn't matter because I was stronger than her. I looked at her suspiciously. She did not seem like she would try and hurt me. Lockig, I said as I shook her hand.
"Curly? Why is that?"
Schale asked me, a warm smile upon her face. How do you know that? I asked. Do you speak German or something?
"Duh."
She smiled.
Now are you coming with me or not?"
I looked sheepishly around. I didn't really have a plan, but something was telling me not to go with her. Actually, if you don't mind, I'm going to find my own way over, I smugly told her. So you can leave now. Schale looked a little hurt, but I didn't really care. I was sure she was trying to trick me.
"Okay, suit yourself."
Schale smiled to mask her sadness.
"If you need me, just shout."
Bye, I rudely waved as she quickly disappeared into the approaching night. Then I had to find a way over the wall. If I distracted one of the guards, I could probably swim over, but that was risky. If I got caught, I would be in so much trouble, and I would have done nothing to save my mum. I could try digging underneath the wall, but that would probably take way too long. I was really stumped for ideas, and then an idea came to me. If I was really, really quiet, I could sneak right past the wall without anyone noticing. That must have been how the shark did it anyway. I leapt cunningly to the sandy floor and started army-crawling across the soft land, avoiding the sights of patrolling officers. With my stealth-like abilities, there was no way I could be caught. I was inches away from the wall. I could see the thick green moss that was clasping to the stony wall surface. It looked old, very old. All I knew was that it was strong enough to withstand my weight. I grasped it with my little orange hands and pulled it to check its strength. Suddenly this loud ringing started belting a repetitive alarm. How could I have forgotten to check for alarms? Where's the intruder? A masculine voice shouted from the top of the wall. I brushed a reddish colour as the spotlight was switched on and started to patrol the empty dark area. If I stayed where I was, they would have found me soon. I tried to bury myself in the cold sand. The sun had now set and the ocean had become a cold, dark and mysterious place. I had never been out this late before. I was scared. I couldn't be caught, and at that moment, I wished I'd never snuck out of my bedroom. The spotlight scanned closer to my location. It was only a matter of time before I was caught. I closed my eyes and pretended that they would give up their searching. I wished I could go home. I wished that my mum would be there if I returned. Without warning, a small hand grabbed me and grappled me forward away from the approaching light.
"Come on, follow me."
The mysterious figure whispered, It was Schale. We ran alongside the wall until we reached what looked like the edge of the ocean. I looked over this edge of the gap and gasped. I could not see the bottom of this endless hole. Schale looked at me for a second and then grabbed my hand.
Do you trust me?
She asked. I nodded. Then we both jumped off together.